He's Blake Griffin, the Clippers forward, joining us, Dan Patrick Show. Did you play football at all?
I did. I played through my sophomore year of high school.
And then what happened?
Then I just decided to stop and concentrate on basketball. It was more my speed.
What position?
I was a wide receiver back then.
Well, you'd be a tight end now.
Yeah, I think about that sometimes. I wish I had played it a little longer, but I'm glad I went with basketball.
Well, yeah, the contact in basketball is just a little bit different than the NFL. But you still, I mean, you guys get beat on a little bit in the NFL or in the NBA.
A little bit. But football's a lot more wear and tear on the body, so I'm glad I went with basketball.
What NFL guy do you think could play in the NBA?
Well, I hear about guys saying that they can play in the NBA all the time.
Like who?
Well, Terrell Owens is all. He was at our practice facility a lot this summer, like begging coaches for a 10-day contract. But I think Calvin Johnson might be a pretty good basketball player.
Did T.O. have game?
He could play a little bit.
Tony Gonzalez could play. I remember him in college. He was actually a pretty good scorer.
Right.
Gates?
Yeah, I mean, guys like Jimmy Graham, Gates, all those guys actually played basketball, so I'm sure they'd be okay.
Any advice for Derrick Rose coming back from this injury, considering what you came back from?
Man, it's just a long process, and you just got to put in the work every day. You know, it gets boring at times, and sometimes you think you're ready. I felt like I was ready months before I really was. So it's kind of a test of your patience.
But how frustrating is that? I mean, you may feel like you can, but you got to wait for the doctor to tell you that it's okay for you to play.
It was very, very frustrating, especially since I hadn't even gotten to play yet. I hadn't gotten to play in a regular season game, so I was, dying to get out there. And, it was one of those things. Thankfully, by the time I started to feel like I could play, the season had just ended, so I wasn't trying to rush back for anything. So it kind of gave me the whole extra summer. But, yes, it's definitely tough.
Is being a great dunker, is it sort of a mixed blessing with people looking at you what they expect, but also trying to expand your game?
Yeah, I think no matter what I do, I think, people are always going to kind of say that. It's not really a matter of trying to convince the whole world. It's just a matter of actually developing and becoming a better player each year and having that all-around game to help your team.
But do you think you relied on the dunk too much, or that people expected that, therefore you tried to do it?
No, not at all. I mean, I just was trying to score. And that was the easiest way at the time. I mean, people said all I could do was dunk, but it was my most successful, I guess, move or whatever you want to call it. It's one of those things where I'm not going to go away from something that is successful just because people are like, oh, that's all I can do.
Well, then they're going to say, well, Michael Jordan went away from dunking. He learned that, after a while, when you're up there that high, there's some bad things that can happen too. So he ended up settling for jumpers and posting up people.
All right, then it's settled. I'm not dunking anymore.
There you go. Breaking news, Blake Griffin not dunking anymore. Who is the best dunker in the game?
Man, there's a lot. I mean, I think in game, I think, guys like LeBron, they have it, but I mean, there's some guys that can get up. Gerald Green and James White both probably have, some of the best hops in the league. But, it kind of depends. There's some guys that are better at contest dunking, and there's some guys that are better at in-game dunking.
What about JaVale McGee?
Oh, yeah. I forgot about him. He gets up so high, and he's already so tall that it's pretty amazing. Some of the stuff he does, he's a great dunker.
He's goofy, though.
He is, but that's just him. It's just a part of his game. That's his personality. He's a goofball.
How does it seems like, being in Los Angeles and hearing this, that no matter what the Clippers do, people will automatically say something about the Lakers. How often does that happen when you're out, that you hear something that has to do with the Lakers?
You know what? It doesn't really. It's not that bad anymore. I mean, a lot of people will come up and say, congrats or good luck, or it's fun watching you guys and stuff like that. The only thing I really get now is like randomly, I'll be like walking, into a restaurant or something, and a car like will drive by, and someone will be like, "Go Lakers!" It's just, I don't really care. Like, I want to like be like, I don't care who you cheer for. Like,
What do you respond? Do you say anything?
I normally don't. I normally just keep walking, but I don't know. I haven't really. Most of the time, I don't have time because they're not like standing right next to me. It's just like they're in a moving car.
It's a drive-by.
Yeah, it's a drive-by show.
Have you congratulated Kobe on his 30,000 points?
Not yet. I haven't seen him yet. But that's pretty impressive. It's quite a feat.
Could you ever see yourself playing that long to come close to something like that?
Man, I hope so. Definitely hope so. But yeah, so that's a lot of basketball games. He started at what, 17?
Yeah, 17. I think he came into the league. Yeah.
Yeah. So he got a couple of years on me. So I don't know. We'll see.
The flopping rules, has it affected you in any way?
No, I don't think so. Not at all. I haven't gotten warned.
You haven't even got warned?
No, sir.
Look at that.
Yeah, so, I don't know. I think this year defensively we're doing pretty well as a team, but, we can always step it up.
Well, congrats so far. Good luck against the Bulls. We appreciate you joining us. I know you're on a time crunch, so thanks for joining us, Blake.
Thank you very much.
All right, Blake Griffin. Clippers forward. Not Duncan anymore.